My name is Nick Wingo. I was a firefighter for 18 years. I started having some post-traumatic stress about halfway into my career. I didn't really realize it. I got to that 18-year mark, and I just had gotten to the point where I had seen so much death and so many things that I was unable to bottle it up anymore. And so I just hit my cup was full, and so I ended up becoming very suicidal. I had all these things that started happening in my life, and I got to the lowest point I'd ever been in my life. And at that point I recognized I needed help, and so I started reaching to find anything I could, any programs, anything that would help me get better, because I knew that I couldn't do it on my own. And so I had started my healing journey, and Warriors Ascent came at a really opportune time for me. It was just in the perfect moment, and it was what I needed.
My name is Gary Fidler. I'm a Army veteran, 4 deployments. My journey to Warriors Ascent started with exiting the military. I went to college, tried to figure out how to deal with just all the things that I've seen and done during the deployments. Same kind of story with the suicidal thoughts and just chronic depression, and my life was just falling apart. So my wife actually recommended Warriors Ascent, signed up, and yeah, that was it.
So for me, coming to Warriors Ascent, I had already started down my healing journey. There was lots of things that I was learning. There was lots of things that I was doing to create self-development for myself. But there was some pieces that were just really missing. And anybody who's been down a self-development journey, anybody who's been through this understands that there is so much information, there are so many things to work through, there is so many tools out there. It's hard to really find the tools that work for you sometimes. And so this program, unlike many other things I had been through, was able to help me hone into some specific things that were really crucial to me. One of them being yoga and meditation, mindfulness. Some of those things were things that I had touched on briefly and had some experience with, but not to the level that I got here at Warriors Ascent. It helped me recognize how important those pieces were for me. And so again, anybody who started to go through these journeys, there are certain things that you will find in certain places that are going to be really impactful and helpful for you. And so for me, those were the things that were really important and continue to be important down my healing journey.
So my experience with or coming to Warriors Ascent, I was reluctant, I think, because I've been to different programs, I've done inpatient treatment, and nothing's ever seemed to help. So I was very reluctant. But coming here, it quickly changed. Like the staff, just kept saying, trust in the process, and so I put my trust in the process, and quickly noticed the change. Like I think opening up and sharing and seeing that I'm not the only one struggling through all these same problems was a significant help. And like Nick, I started a little bit before with meditating and mindfulness stuff. And then coming here and kind of getting a regiment, I guess, our path helped significantly.
Yeah, so there's so many things that I took from Warriors Ascent that was very beneficial and helpful to me. Again, the most beneficial to me personally was the mindfulness, the meditation, the yoga. These were things that I always thought were very woo-woo and like energy, and not something that a man like me would be doing. But I recognized that it was okay to just own that piece of me and be a part of that. It was so crucial to me to recognize that those were things that I needed to do. Those were things that I needed to incorporate. And going back home, I was able to incorporate a lot of those things. And however, there are always obstacles that are going to come your way, and that's why I'm sitting here today, is because I recognize that this is a journey that never ends. This is a journey that you have to continually work on. And so coming back and being a mentor now and being here in the program again, I'm gaining even more and I'm learning even more. And so it's amazing to see now, after I've gone through the program once and now being a mentor on the program on the other side, how much more I can gain because my mind is so much more open. And so one of the most crucial things that I've learned with Warriors Ascent and other things and other work is that it is so important to be open with just who you are and where you are and be vulnerable. And so honing in that piece of me has been crucial, and I'm very grateful that people have shown me that, especially the people that are here at Warriors Ascent. They've just been really crucial in helping me see that piece of me and continue to hone that in. And so I can't tell you how grateful I am for these people that have poured into me. I can't tell you how grateful I am to be sitting here today. And I will continue to be grateful for all the things that I'm blessed with. It's an amazing thing to look back and see where I was 8 months ago or a year ago compared to where I am now. So for that, I just want to say again, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to sit and have this conversation. I'm super grateful for it.
So going away from Warriors Ascent, I think the things that I took home the most was just the sense of community. I think with other organizations that I've tried to heal the PTS and the depression and the suicidal thoughts, like you have that sense of belonging, I guess, with the veterans that you go with, or the first responders, or whoever is your community is. But with Warriors Ascent, it just felt more genuine, more like you knew there was going to be a plan afterwards. And that, I mean, still to this day, you talk to Carrie. I think I talk to Carrie once a week, and so that in itself is huge, because part of being depressed and part of being the suicidal thoughts and everything, like you seclude yourself and you think you're alone in this process. And coming here, you learn just the opposite, and also the mindfulness and the yoga, just being and then being vulnerable. And there's just a long list of things that I was able to take away from here to continue my path of healing.
What I constantly do in everything is I look back and I see where was I and how was my mind thinking and how could have I gotten to a better spot. And number one, just having that mindset of, looking back to where I was has helped me to understand that there are some key components to things that have changed me. And one of the biggest key components is just recognizing that I was having a problem. Recognizing that I had anger and frustration and all these things that I bottled up. So that's kind of the first step I would tell you, is just try to recognize that and see that. And if somebody's telling you that you are angry or frustrated, or that you're not the same that you used to be, you should take that to heart and you should be open to that. And so that leads to what my biggest thing is just being open to change, being open to hearing what people have to tell you, because so long in my life I was closed-minded and I was not open to what anybody had to tell me about anything. And if you can just be open and just give a chance to somebody that maybe your thinking is wrong and maybe their thinking is right, that's such a better way to live life in general, is just being open to the idea that, hey, maybe I truly have a problem and maybe this person can help me by the advice that they're giving me. So that's been the biggest thing that's helped me change. And I looking at other people, I can see the ones that are not open to the process, the ones that are not vulnerable, the ones that are not willing to put themselves out there. Those are the ones that never get the change. So just be open, be vulnerable, and just try to be you.
I think the advice I would give to somebody that was in my position before I came to Warriors Ascent would be just to know that there are people out there who genuinely care. All the negative thoughts that go through your head on a daily basis aren't real. It's okay to be vulnerable, and you don't have to suffer alone. The things that you learn growing up in the military or growing up in the first responder community, like those things of being tough and being where you can't share your emotions and things. Like those are good for in the job, but in life in general, it's difficult to be okay. And coming to Warriors Ascent, I think, is the answer to that